Yo, what is up, you guys? Big for another video. In today's video, we are reacting to 6 most disturbing mysteries solved with Google Maps. Now, we did kind of do a similar video like this with chilling scares. We're back on the boy channel. Shout out to him. He makes good videos. It's just creepy. Sometimes I can't handle it because sometimes it gets too real, and you know, I don't like to personally get too emotionally attached to, like, I don't want to show my true, like, pure emotion, because when you're super emotional, you really tend to say stuff that you probably wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know the deal, man. But sit back, you know, get ready for this one. Like, it's gonna be wild. Yeah, I did record this in the same day I did the reaction. Corey Kenshin all day, man. Fuck that bitch that lied. You know what I'm saying? Let's go.
On July 30th, 2010, 3 men were drinking together in a backyard in Richland County, South Carolina. The names of the men were Leslie Todd Parvin,
Wait, what is this shit at the bottom, bro? What's up with y'all? YouTube, bro. How do I get rid of that? Oh, yeah, and the video's already liked because I needed to keep track of it. Okay, well, that bottom
Edgar Lopez, and Pablo Gutierrez Guzman. At some point in the afternoon, an argument broke out between the 3 men, and Leslie ended up pulling a handgun from his waistband and taking the lives of the 2 other men.
What the fuck?
It's unclear exactly what sparked the argument between the 3 men, but immediately after the shooting, Parvin fled to Louisiana in his green Kia minivan. Once there, he shaved his head and destroyed both the gun he had used to take the lives of his 2 victims, as well as the minivan. For a few days, Parvin managed to elude the authorities, but pretty soon the cops started scanning through license plate records of all green Kia vans registered in Louisiana. According to investigation documents, after the double murder, a witness had reported a partial tag of Parvin's minivan to the police. And a couple days later, on a whim, the cops plugged the suspect's address into Google Maps Street View, and sure enough, found a green minivan parked in front of his—
Bro, it's so crazy. Like, first things first, stop doing crimes. If you really, truly think you gonna get away with some shit, bro. I didn't even know investigators really, like, obviously I know, like, this is why I tell people, don't underestimate the FBI, the cops, the detectives. They train their whole lives to figure out what you on, big, all that bullshit. They study psychological, body movements, body reads, all that. So don't think you're gonna get away with some shit, because that's why I don't do none of that bullshit. But in this situation, you would just really find it odd for them to really pull out just Google Maps for like a detective work. Like, you just would be amazed, I guess.
House with the license plates and description matching what the witness had told them. With that kind of evidence stacked against him, it was pretty much all over for Parvin. And on August 19th, a relative brought him back to his home in the Windsor Lake area, where he was promptly arrested on 2 charges of murder and later sentenced to 35 years in prison. During the investigation, it was publicly revealed that Parvin was a 20-year Army veteran with 5 overseas deployments and a pretty bad case of PTSD, which he had been diagnosed with in 2007.
Of course.
According to his father's testimony, his 20 years of military service and the stress from his tours near Iraq and Afghanistan could have influenced his behavior on the day of the incident.
No.
You would think that after 2 decades of selflessly serving his country, Parvin would have been provided the appropriate mental health treatment to help him live his life peacefully.
Bro, they don't care about veterans, bro. They don't care about veterans. The way they treat them, like you just said, bro, I work with a veteran, bro. And, like, the fact that he still had, like, bro, that shit just so fucked up, bro. Serve this country and then you gotta just have no resources. Well, just get out there and just... No, bro. That's bullshit. Y'all care about that. Y'all care about that other shit. Y'all care about shit that don't matter. Y'all care about motherfuckers that don't give a goddamn about this country, bro. Or just people, bro. Bro, yes, I care about people. Yes, there's some things that I don't agree with people do. Yes, I don't agree with everybody. But at the end of the literal day, everybody are human beings. And I at least try to keep that in my mind. Like, yeah, okay, everyone is human. Everyone is human beings. But damn, some of you motherfuckers just... Some of y'all are past the human being point. I ain't gonna lie. A lot of y'all just...
Instead, 2 innocent men are now dead, and the perpetrator himself will be spending most of the rest of his life behind bars.
He should have been in there for the rest of his life,
35 years after his crime, at the age of 75, Parvin will be released from prison into a world he'll probably no longer even recognize.
Hell no. Look, I don't recognize the world from 10 years ago, so...
In July 2018, Channel 4 released an incredibly disturbing video which showed a group of uniformed men leading multiple women and children through a dirt road and onto a deserted patch of land, where the armed men then shamelessly took the lives of the victims at gunpoint. In the video, the men can be heard accusing the women and children of belonging to the notorious terrorist group Boko Haram. The video caught the attention of the entire world, with hundreds of people immediately alleging that the terrifying footage had been captured in Cameroon. However, the government of Cameroon immediately denied the claims, alleging that the video wasn't even shot in their country and that their army was being wrongly blamed for killing civilians. Still, the BBC wasn't convinced, and their team of researchers decided to find out who had been responsible for the atrocities in the video, where they took place, and when. After receiving an anonymous tip, they used Google Maps to study the layout of a particular region in Cameroon and discovered that the mountain range visible in the background of the video was near a village named Krawa Mafa, very close to the Nigerian border. By analyzing several years of Google satellite imagery of the region, the researchers from the BBC were able to determine that the incident had taken place at some point between March 20th and April 5th, 2015. Upon further investigation, it was revealed that the Cameroonian government hadn't been honest when they denied the claims.
So y'all lying?
For example, the government had claimed that the Cameroonian army didn't use weapons like the ones shown in the video, but the BBC's analysis revealed that the guns were Serbian-made Zastava M21s, which are in fact used in the Cameroonian army. On top of this, several other details that the government had claimed were inaccurate turned out to be a perfect match, including the armed men's uniforms. A month after the Cameroonian government's initial denial of the claims, they then updated their statement to clarify that 7 members of the army were now under investigation. And when the BBC shared their full report with the Cameroonian government, the country's Minister of Communication was reported saying, 7 soldiers were arrested, disarmed. They are under investigation right now. I can confirm that all 7 of them are in prison.
It didn't.
In their next statement,
I mean, and I know this is gonna sound like ridiculous, but this is just my ways until I probably grow out of them. But this is why I'm not going to no other country for this exact type of weird shit. Like, bro, I don't want to speak too much on it, bro, but this is why you couldn't get me to get out the United States. Now, when I go to like Texas or some shit, or I'm from Chicago, but I'll go to motherfucking Minnesota, like, you know, Detroit or something, but Africa, Mexico, Russia, Iran, India, all them. This is just for me. I don't think personally I will ever. I'll go to like Paris or France or something like that, but all of them. No, I'm not going. I don't see my body even letting me do that. But we gonna see. I doubt it. But all them people, no.
And the Cameroonian government released the names of the 7 detainees,
they too
and the
crazy
BBC confirmed that
yeah,
some
and
of them,
I'm not gonna say America, like, you know, so they flawed too, but at least the laws is just different. But I'm used to this, but I'm from America, bro. I'm not going to no other. What do I need to go to another country for? What do I need to travel for? What do I need to see them folks for? Who are them to better my life? Only time I'm going out there if I'm shooting vlogs.
were the same people who were seen in the video executing
Man, I'm out here
innocent
just
women
playing
and
and living
children.
and shit. Look what's going on, bro.
In 2020, 4 of the soldiers in the video received 10-year prison sentences for the murders, while
Only
the 5th soldier was
10?
sentenced to 2 years for filming and sharing the footage. The other 2 soldiers were acquitted. It's crazy to think that you can get away with such an atrocious crime and only face 10 years in prison.
In America, that ain't flying. In America, video footage, and all that ain't flying. But, you know, and I'm pretty sure this is Africa. Man, they don't got 10 years for murking people just willy-nilly. The dude got 2 years. And you think I'm finna go to that country? Why would I ever even put my life in that predicament? I'm cool. And no, nothing against Africa or nothing against these other countries, but a nigga like me just not doing it.
But at least they're being
That's
held
my
accountable
opinion.
for what they did, all thanks to a very detailed examination of the video's
Shout out to
content
the
against
detectives,
Google's
holy.
satellite imagery.
Holy.
Between 2010 and 2011, 11 bodies were found near Gilgo Beach on the south shore of Long Island between
Oh my
Nassau and
gosh.
Suffolk counties. Most of the bodies belonged to female escorts whose lives have been taken as early as
It's always like people targeting women. It's gonna be like the most mangled up nigga you ever see. Watch, I'm gonna predict this right now. You see all these women, they're all like beautiful, right? And when they show the dude who did it, it's gonna be like the most busted up dude talking about they didn't like nice guys. Listen, let me tell you something. Nice guys don't matter. Looks is what matters. The niceness or whatever you want to say, that don't exist. It's a looks game. Your looks is gonna get you through the door. Anything else women talk about or even dudes, man, that's a bunch of bullshit. You need to look apart. Nice guy, that's not gonna matter. I don't know who keep telling fairy tale people this stuff. Looks matter, and that's damn near. If you want a relationship, you need more than looks, but looks is the most important thing. I don't know why nobody ever told me this growing up, but they, I have to find out. Yeah. So watch this. Watch.
But it wasn't until 2023 that they finally managed to arrest Rex Heuermann, a
What I say? He murked all beautiful women, and look at him. What I just say? Do y'all think I'm stupid? It's always the most horrifying wrinkled up man. It's always these absolute barbaric cavemen. It's always them. They always just talking about nice guy. What are you talking about? Women don't like ugly pieces of shit. Women don't like people who don't take care of themselves. So if you're feeling sorry that you can't get girls, look in the mirror and I guarantee you're a clap cheese. Trust me, I've made this revolution. I'm not speaking out of no ill intent. I'm speaking from experience, my boy. Looks matter. That's damn near the only thing that matters. Now, if you would have lost some weight, got a beard, because you could probably grow a beard, but you just don't want to grow nothing. I don't know. This guy just looks pathetic. Worthless. I just knew it.
50-year-old architect and father of two, and connect him to the crimes through DNA evidence, cell phone records, and the links between his Chevy Avalanche and the crimes.
Talking about he a nice guy.
After his arrest, Rex was charged with the deaths of 4 women. And later, he was charged with the deaths of 2 other women after DNA evidence linked him to the crimes.
Wow.
Disturbingly, the cops found that the suspect had used several burner phones to conduct thousands of searches related to the...
I'm a nice guy. This is what they always look like. And I'm not saying I'm attractive. I'm not saying that. But what I will say, I'm not this. I'm not this. Look, your mirror dirty. I don't know what the hell you've been hawking on it. Look at this guy. And he talking about, oh, but you want to target only beautiful women. Why? Get in the gym, bro. You can have my workout resume. It'll work. Trust me. Calorie deficit. Your hairline is bad. Oh gosh. You got the swoop. You got the smosh haircut. It's like you're done, bro.
Ended up doing to his victims.
We know what he did,
and to seal Heuermann's fate, they also found a huge Word document on his hard drive in his basement in which Rex had planned out the murders of his victims in very explicit detail. Shockingly, the document included checklists that outlined the steps he needed to complete before, during, and after his killings. Based on court evidence, Heuermann started committing these crimes as early as 1993, and if found guilty, he'll be facing multiple consecutive life sentences in prison.
Just kill him.
As of 2024, the case is still ongoing, but during the investigation, some more disturbing details have surfaced.
If you see a man, like anytime, just pay attention to that through life. People y'all hang around, people you observe at your work or anything. Listen to where they talk about women, and there's a difference between being realistic, their preferences, their opinions, into their actual beliefs and ideology on how they move. But the way they talk about like women, and vice versa for women dealing with other women. Listen to how they talk about men. Those are some of the most deadly human beings. Now, I bet you him growing up, he probably talked helly shit about beautiful women and all that. But you got kids, so I don't know. Maybe it's something deeper than that with this guy. I just knew he was a chopped clap cheese. I knew that, but...
Some online users discovered a Google Street View image of Heuermann talking to an unidentified woman near his office on East 36th Street more than a year before his arrest. Now, we have no idea who this woman is, and it's very possible that she was a potential victim, but we also can't say that for sure. Chillingly, in the image, Rex also appears to be wearing the same shirt that he wore for a YouTube interview earlier in 2022, where he spoke about his role as an architect at his firm on 5th Avenue. His defense lawyer, Michael Brown, told the New York Post that the cops have the wrong man.
DNA? Yeah, okay. On DNA,
in September 2008, a 14-year-old Dutch boy was riding his bike in the town of Groningen, about 110 miles northeast of Amsterdam, when suddenly 2 young men walked behind him, dragged him off his bike, and robbed him of €165 and his phone. For several months, the cops failed to find the suspects, as no witnesses came forward and they only had the boy's description of the muggers to go on. In March of the following year, the victim went on his computer and started surfing Google Maps Street View, looking at the location where he'd been mugged around 6 months earlier. To his surprise, the Street View car had captured the 2 men walking up behind him in the moments before the crime. As is usually the case with these images, the faces of the 2 muggers and the victim were blurred, but the boy immediately called the cops and informed them of the new development in the case. With the Street View pictures in hand, the authorities asked Google to hand over the unblurred version of the images to help identify the suspects. Interestingly, as soon as they got the unblurred images, the investigators recognized one of the muggers from a previous crime, and the other suspect was identified as the first mugger's twin brother. After confirming their identity, the Dutch police were able to track down and arrest the twins, but I wasn't able to find official confirmation that they were charged and sentenced. It's unclear if the boy ever got his phone and money back.
Yeah, I doubt it. Motherfuckers is broke, worthless, just walking around, just making everybody life worse.
Kim Wall was an award-winning Swedish journalist who traveled all over the world to cover stories on social justice. Throughout her career, her reporting took her to countries like Uganda, Cuba, the Marshall Islands, and Kenya, with her work often being featured in prestigious journals like the New York Times, the South China Morning Post, and the Atlantic.
I think I've seen something like this.
In 2017, while she was in Copenhagen with her boyfriend, she met Peter Madsen, a brilliant Danish inventor and self-taught engineer who had built his own submarine, designed his own rockets, and had plans to launch himself into space in the near future. On August 10th of that year, Peter Madsen took Kim Wall on a trip off the Copenhagen coast in his homemade submarine, the NC-3 Nautilus, for a brief interview. Sadly, after that trip, Kim Wall was never seen again.
Ew.
When she didn't come back later that day, her partner reported her missing and an official investigation was officially launched. Just a few days later, on the 21st of August, a passing cyclist found parts of her body washed up on the beach close to where she had gone missing. And about a month and a half later, the rest of her body was found in multiple different weighted down bags by police divers. During the investigation, Madsen was brought in for questioning, but he denied having anything to do with the state of her body. He instead claimed that Kim Wall had died after being accidentally hit on the head by the hatch of the submarine. Strangely, he later ended up changing his account of the events and claimed that Wall had died after inhaling toxic fumes. Although no trace—
It's so funny how people, when they get caught up, they just start coming up with any weird ass excuse. It is just, honestly, I really feel like if you get caught, just give up. Once they even suspect you as the person and you actually did it, just give up. How can you outbeat this? They found remains, stuff, and he talking about inhaling toxins, and then she hit her head. You couldn't even fool an 8-year-old. You told an 8-year-old that, he gonna probably slap you. No lie. Just, like, come on, bro.
The toxic fumes was found in her system. The authorities did find 15 stab wounds on Kim's body.
That's what.
After being held in police custody for a while, Madsen eventually confessed that he had murdered Wall and then thrown her separate body parts into the Baltic Sea. In April 2018, Peter Madsen was convicted on 3 separate charges.
But they never say why they do it. They should just start, you know what I feel like? I feel like they should just like force them out the truth on why they did something. They just start beating them or something. I don't know. Like, start doing something.
And was sentenced to life in prison, where he's been spending his days for the past 6 years.
They need to start, like,
in 2021, Madsen ended up receiving an additional 21 months in prison for staging a bomb threat in an extremely elaborate escape attempt. Fortunately, he was recaptured soon after and was brought back to his cell. One of the things that's interesting about this case is that Peter Madsen had been captured by the Google Maps Street View camera climbing into his submarine. Chillingly, when he confessed to the murder, he mentioned that his intention was never to take Kim Wall's life, but rather to sink the Nautilus forever, even if it meant that both he and the innocent journalist would die inside.
But why, though?
To this day, it's still unclear how exactly he took Kim's life, but thankfully Madsen will be spending the rest of his life behind bars with no possibility of ever coming back to society again.
Ooh, keep him. I don't understand that.
Porto Rotondo is a district in Sardinia known for its imposing mansions, sandy beaches, and elegant shops and restaurants.
That looks nice.
In 2002, an Italian businessman sold his villa in Porto Rotondo for 280,000 euros. Due to the comparatively low value of the transaction, the sale immediately raised a red flag for the authorities, and the finance police in Italy ended up using Google Earth as part of their investigation into the property.
I can't believe
One important detail about the villa in question is that it allegedly had a swimming pool with a very particular shape, which the cops used to guide their search for the villa using satellite imagery. As soon as they found the property, they confirmed that they had a major case of tax evasion on their hands, as the actual value of the villa should have been much, much higher considering that the value of all the properties nearby was in the high 7 figures. With enough evidence from Google's satellite imagery to confirm that the unidentified businessman had indeed committed tax fraud, the finance police then checked the suspect's bank accounts and discovered 7 million euros in unreported deposits spanning several years. This was a case that I just couldn't find a lot of information on, as the original article in Italian had very few details, and it wasn't even officially confirmed what the legal consequences were for the businessman. Still, it's probably safe to assume that his assets were seized, and due to the crazy amount of unreported cash, it's likely that he spent at least a few years in jail.
Damn. That last one was, I ain't gonna lie, that last one I low-key don't even know what the fuck was happening. I don't know what was going on in that last one, man. But hope y'all enjoyed this reaction, man. Let me know if y'all like the chilling scares. Told you, you're getting a lot more reactions, a lot more consistent uploads reaction-wise. Told you, if you got any games, let me know, okay, that you really want me to play. I'll tap in. I hope y'all enjoyed this, man. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. And...
Thanks for watching.